Hi, welcome to the second episode of Coffee with the Couples. Hi, I'm Dan Digman,
And hi, it's me, Jennifer Digman.
and we're a couple takes on MS. I'm walking,
And I'm rolling.
but together we're moving forward. We want to have this coffee conversation with you. I understand that it's afternoon, but it's always a good time for coffee, right? And so we want to have this just like a conversation. If you were over to see us at our house, where it's like, hey, let's grab a cup of coffee and let's just talk about what's going on, what went on this last week, what's coming up this next week, where do we go from here? And if you like what you see and you want to be notified of future videos that we do, whether regular videos or coffee with a couple, subscribe. Subscribe and you'll be notified, and it'll be great to have a conversation and just join the connection with you. And so today, for Coffee with a Couple, note that we're wearing this orange shirt. Tell us about that, Jennifer.
Well, it is for our dear friend Sam. And we are #spreading orange and raising awareness for Mission Stadiums for Multiple Sclerosis. That's Sam's organization with money, proceeds, and awareness of benefiting Johns Hopkins Hospital.
And it supports multiple sclerosis research. And what they do is go around and they raise awareness at stadiums, baseball stadiums, football stadiums. They were at hockey stadiums this last year to increase Spread Orange and raise awareness and funding for MS research. Obviously, with the current state of COVID-19 and everything, there isn't a lot of things happening at stadiums, but we still are spreading orange. So that's what we're doing today, but spread orange all the time. There will be notes and information about MS4MS, and that's MS4MS.org is their website. Check them out, or check the notes in our Facebook and on our YouTube channel to see how you can connect with them and support their efforts. And we're doing that today, but what we're talking about today is 5-year planning. And what happened is we had a couple friends of ours, and they are moving, and they talked about whether or not the move, where they're going, what they're doing, fit into their 5-year plan, their 10-year plan. And Jennifer and I were talking, it's like, do we have a 5-year plan? Do we have a 10-year plan?
And it's really interesting because their 5-year plan had to be adjusted and turned into a 7-year plan. Unfortunately, they had this opportunity. And so their plan is happening at 7 years. But in my head, I was thinking, those of us living with multiple sclerosis, is a 5-year plan reasonable? I mean, I don't know about anybody else out there living with the disease, but it's very day-to-day. And I think my day-to-day plan is if I can wake up, if I can keep going. And I realized maybe we're selling ourselves a little short by not establishing a 5-year plan. Look, Dan and I have been married come September 10th, 2020. It'll be 15 years. Ouch.
And we've never, in those 15 years, ever established any kind of long-range plan. And I think it's because we feel that, my gosh, we have MS and it's an unpredictable disease. And you don't know what it's going to do from one day to the next. So why should I be planning what I'm going to do in a year, 2 years? I need to know what I'm doing.
Let alone 5 years.
I need to know what I'm doing right now. I mean, with what kind of coffee are we drinking today? What are we doing for dinner?
Exactly. And I think that the one thing, where, like I said, we sell ourselves short, not shorts, because we're outside and it's beautiful, and I think it's woo-woo, something to celebrate here in Michigan that we can be outside today. But anywho, by not establishing a 5-year plan, one thing that is reliable about our life is the disease. And as awful as it may be at times, it is pretty reliable that it's always going to be here. So don't just say you don't need to set up a 5-year plan. And I read a quote from the great Thomas Edison, and he said that if we all did the things we are capable of, we would astound ourselves. And so I think it's really easy living with MS or any sort of chronic illness to settle, to just say, I'm living with the disease, and if I can get up every morning, that's good enough. But really, you need to reframe that and think about what you're capable of doing.
And that's where, are we using, and Jennifer and I had decided this, we're using multiple sclerosis as an excuse for not setting these plans. And it's overwhelming, it's daunting. I mean, we look things up online saying, how do you do a 5-year plan? There's a lot to it, but that doesn't mean we can't find ways to set goals. Obviously, MS is going to get in the way. MS is something we'll have to plan for, pivot when things change, when things don't go as we plan. But that doesn't mean we can't set greater goals and make it 5 years, make it 10 years, make it a year of where you're going, where we're going, and see what happens, because there's nothing, and obviously we say, oh, well, it's just setting ourselves up for failure. I think, again, I use that as an excuse. It's like, it's not setting me up for failure, it's setting me up for success.
And think how fantastic you feel when you accomplish a goal, especially a long-range goal, given it could be a year or 5 years or even 10 years. But I think it's funny, I have a piece of paper here. It's just the reality. When you write down your goals, you're 33% more likely to achieve them. Just to write it on a piece of paper. And that is according to lifehacker.com, because little things like inspire me. And I should probably put my hair back. Dan said,
I said you need a bar. She said, no, I could do this.
Excuse me, but just little things like that, to write down what you're wanting to achieve. It will really help you to solidify that and keep you on target. And goals can be anything like exercise or diet, or you can have financial goals or long-term goals about having a house for yourself, or getting a new job, or getting a car, getting a handicap accessible van. So any sort of goal that you think is achievable, or even if it's a crazy, wild goal that you don't think you'll achieve, you gotta name it to claim it. You have to write it down. And that's why I think 5-year plan is really something doable.
And they said, as we've been researching this now, because I don't want to say we're obsessed, but I mean, these are real things, because we're not getting any younger. We both have MS, so on many levels, we're not necessarily getting any healthier. And it's like they say that 5 years is attainable. I mean, 10 years encourages procrastination because, oh, that's so far in the future. 1 year, it's like more instant gratification, but 5 years,
and maybe a little pressure. Like, I've got to do this, I only have a year. But 5 years is more attainable.
And so we really, with this, is taking the time to just encourage you to look into doing more 5-year plans, long-term planning, despite multiple sclerosis. And I think that's what we're making the charge to do. And I mean, quite frankly, our YouTube channel, is something we wanted to do. And it wasn't until we put it down in writing to say, okay, this is what we want to do. That's what motivates us. And now all of a sudden, it's a priority. And I think those priorities help to keep things in order, or, shift your focus. I think where there's always wanting to think or obsess over things, it's like, well, now all of a sudden, I have this goal to plan for. I can't obsess or overthink this particular thing. I can move on because I have greater things for me to accomplish.
And so that's why we think it's very interesting. And we're very happy for our friends that have achieved their 7-year goal. And we wish them very well in the future.
Absolutely.
And much like we wish Sam and MS4MS success in spreading orange and increasing awareness about multiple sclerosis.
So thanks for joining us and join the conversation with us. Comment to us. Find us on Facebook, DanGenDig, or Twitter @DanGenDig. Send us your comments. Send us your success stories. Make your plans. Tell us about your particular goals, challenges that you're facing with this disease. And again, subscribe. Right down there, subscribe. You can be notified when we have new videos. And also go to the YouTube channel. Check out the information that we have on there for MS4MS and learn more about that organization and the great work they're doing. And so until next time, I'm Dan Digman.
I'm Jennifer Digman.
And we're a couple takes on MS. I'm walking.
I'm rolling.
But together we're moving forward. And we look forward to joining you next week for another Coffee with a Couple. Take care.